Hi, my name is Ravi Verma, and I am the org whisperer at SmoothApps and a Scrum.org professional Scrum trainer. Over the past few years, I have learned a lot about Scrum and how Scrum can help organizations maximize value, minimize waste, minimize risk. And as I look back at my journey, I still remember the first time I learned about Scrum, and my initial reaction was, this makes no sense. There are a bunch of rules. I have no idea why these rules exist. And my first response was that of a skeptic. And I still remember breaking many of the non-negotiable rules of Scrum to suit my thinking. And the thinking was that of a waterfall development manager. And as I started looking back at my journey and comparing the reaction of many people as I introduced Scrum to them, now as a trainer, now as a believer, now as a coach, it reminds me of my original reaction when I was a highly skeptical waterfall development manager. And here's another thing it reminds me of. It reminds me of an incident in my personal life, in my journey as an immigrant. So let's go back in time. It's around 2001. It's, I think, the month of June, 17 years ago. And I just landed in America from India. And, one of the biggest culture shocks and adjustments for me was driving on American roads and understanding the mindset. And I'm embarrassed to say that I failed my driver's license exam 4 times. And the first time I thought I was really close, and come back in the parking lot. I thought I nailed it. I asked the lady, so how did I do? I'm expecting, oh man, you're awesome, you passed. But she said, you failed. I said, why? What happened? And she says, well, you remember that stop sign as we were approaching the parking lot? I said, yes. And she said, well, you didn't stop. I said, why should I stop? There was nobody there. And she said, no, when I'm in America, if you come to a stop sign, even if nobody is there, you got to stop. And I was thinking to myself, man, these Americans are crazy. In India, even if you have a red light, that's a gentle suggestion. The rule is the person with the biggest vehicle wins. And all you got to do is you got to keep honking. Because when you honk, you have announced to the surrounding universe that you are there. And it's on them to watch out for you. And if anything bad happens, it's on them because you did your duty. You honked, right? So now I'm thinking from my Indian traffic mindset. And now I'm comparing, I'm in America and I'm trying to figure out, this makes no sense. So left to my own devices, I would have applied my Indian mindset on American roads and broken that non-negotiable rule of American traffic, which is when you come to a stop sign, even if you don't see anyone, you stop, right? So there are 2 ways you can respond. One is, I could comply under duress. I could understand the letter of the law, right? To say, well, this makes no sense. American rules, if you don't want to take it, you got to stop at a stop sign. And then just check the box and move on, right? Probably better than running a stop sign, but probably not as effective as understanding the spirit. Why? The why was, now I understand, if you have a GMC Suburban going at 45 miles an hour, and maybe you have a blind spot when you're stopping at a stop sign and you don't see anyone, and you go, a collision, repairable loss of life, irreversible damage. But I did not know that because I was new to American traffic. Similarly, when someone with a waterfall mindset like myself many years ago is introduced to Scrum, their initial reaction to the non-negotiable rules of Scrum might be similar. To say, well, this makes no sense. This is BS. In the waterfall world, we've done this all the time. But it's only if you ask your coach, your trainer, the why behind the what. And if you are able to connect the dots between breaking that rule of Scrum and non-negotiable, maybe irreversible loss of value, loss of quality, and perhaps in today's intertwined world of software and product usage, perhaps even irreversible loss of life or property, you may then have a deeper appreciation for what is the rule and why it was created in the first place. So what is my call to action as I leave? Here's my challenge to you. If you come across a rule of Scrum that makes no sense to you, try and ask yourself or your trainer or a coach, what is the why behind this rule? How might this rule enable the delivery of sustainable, measurable value? And if you don't understand that, don't follow the rule. Maybe Scrum is not right for you. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make Scrum a bad framework. It just may be that at this stage in your journey, for the specific problem that you're facing, Scrum may not be appropriate. However, if you choose to follow Scrum, make sure that you understand the non-negotiables, make sure that you understand the why behind the non-negotiables, and do your level best to not only follow the letter of the Scrum guide, but also the spirit of the Scrum guide. I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, just shoot me an email. With that, thank you. Keep calm, Scrum on.